everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Tennessee Titans. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
By many accounts, Coach, one of the most underrated home venues in all of the NFL resides in the heart of Nashville, Tennessee, and that's where we find ourselves at Nissan Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Tennessee Titans. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in Week 3. This will be fielded at the 6. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Titans now for their first drive. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What the columnists write, possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down now, it's Henry. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there. And now we get a peek at the Titan offense.
And the schedule makers have given them a little break right here. Back-to-back home games, and they won last week. So they're trying to make it 2 in a row before they hit the road next week. They have to take advantage of this break in the schedule.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. They'll set up to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The Titans get 14 yards there and move the chains as well.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Time to check the defensive starters here for Kansas City. They were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers. And last week in that victory, they were pretty good. Probably a pretty easy film session, I would imagine.
And after a performance like that, so many people think you just roll into film, take your popcorn, kick back, and enjoy the show because they played well. I can just tell you from experience, after a win is when coaches come down on you harder. Because they want to emphasize all the mistakes that happened. Because you won, you're in a good mood. They want to bring you back to earth. Oftentimes you walk out of there and you ask your teammate, did we win last week?
So my assumption was wrong. I learned something. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
That's caught inside the 20. And this will set them up nicely deep down in KC territory. A big play that time for the Titans. 41 yards.
Things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. George Kittle, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Titans take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive.
Well, the lost sleep that the defensive coordinator had all week preparing for this game, a good portion of it was trying to prepare for him because he's absolutely a phenomenal player.
And a lot of times around the goal line, they know it's going to him. It's just so hard to stop.
And that's where it really becomes difficult because you're exactly right. They know it's going to him, yet they still can't stop it. That tells you when you're a dominant player.
So here are the Chiefs now as they get set for their opening drive. Leading this unit will be the big arm man out of Texas Tech. 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win. And that's what they did last week. But there was also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Open man is Higgins. And nothing but daylight ahead. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Titans have taken the lead. Seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted. And now with that lead that we're seeing, can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The numbers for Hill a week ago. 3 catches, 113 yards, and a score.
And he's number 6 in the league in receiving yards, and he plays for his team first. But he also, in the back of his mind, he's thinking, if I can get into the top 5, that might affect his bonus in his contract.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
23 yards on the pickup there and a first. On first down, it's Gurley. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
On second and 11 now. Mahomes, and he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. This unit, very tough to throw against. Currently second best in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 7 yards there and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. He'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. An 11-yard pickup for the Titans and a first down. This quarterback now already over 150 yards through the air in the opening quarter. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Hernandez. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
Ready, break, 59. Mike, 59. You can't block me. You can't block me.
2nd and 4. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 17-yard line. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Derrick Henry. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Derrick Henry, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Titans are able to extend their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
This one taken just inside the 10. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs offense. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say, I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard, and his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. Some tough running, but it only gets him to the 45. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. On now is the Titans punter. Tyreek Hill back deep for Kansas City. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. An opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Back to the ground, this time with Gurley. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They run. It's Gurley. I don't think Gurley got there. Looks like the defense held him back. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
Mahomes now on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're... Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. After the sack, things get a little tougher here. Third and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. On third and long, it's Mahomes. And they're going deep for Hill. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is third down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
They begin with Henry, and he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stop that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Draw play. This is Henry. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On now is the Titans punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Draw play. This is Yeldon. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Mahomes used to moving quickly in college, trying to get his guys to the line. On play action, it's Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open, he has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
Extra point splits the uprights, and they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Titan offense now as they make their way back onto the field. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
It's just me and you.
2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on that play for the Titans. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. They'll look to throw here on first down. And he's got his man on the out route. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. They'll drop the throw. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes us 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Titans are able to extend their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now up to 14. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with a Tennessee score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City.
And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Mahomes now to throw. And going deep for Hill. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Dory Jackson right there, step for step in coverage.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. He is going to find Hill here. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Mahomes now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Final shot before the half from Mahomes. He's going to look deep down the field. It's caught at the 10. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch.
Extra point right down the middle, and that will take us to the end of the first half of play. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath, as we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. We'll start in the AFC West. The LA Chargers traveling north to take on Oakland. And that's been a back-and-forth game, all tied in the second quarter. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Arizona Cardinals. 31-8 was the final. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And they were losers in that one as they fall to the visiting Denver Broncos. Russell Wilson, 3 touchdown passes as his guys stay unbeaten on the year. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Titans hold the lead, and they'll get the football first as the third quarter gets underway. This one taken just inside the 10. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Set to take over, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. And he's looking to take much better care of the football here in half 2 after 3 first-half interceptions.
We don't have to just look strictly at the numbers here. You know what else happens to a team when you turn it over 3 times like that? It erodes confidence in you. And it erodes confidence in the offense. And now you have the defensive guys looking over and saying, what is going on here? And instead of playing for the team, they're playing angry and mad at their teammates.
A loss of 2 there, second down. The defense pushing the run game back on the first play of the third quarter.
But I don't think that means abandoning the run totally. Sometimes you just have to focus on execution, right? They always talk about players, not plays. Well, tell your players to block a little bit better, and maybe the ground game can get going.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete.
Hey, 43. Check 3. Watch the motion. Mike 27. 43.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. Flush to his right. He'll have a first down past the 40 and all the way up to the 45-yard line. That'll put him up over 160 yards receiving now for the game. They can't seem to stop it. You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10.
Yellow. Shoot. Hero 15. Let's get
Gurley. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
From midfield, here's Mahomes. That one complete to Hill. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On the toss, it's Gurley. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. A first down run there for Gurley, but nothing opening up as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. No gain on the play there, second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Jeffrey Simmons. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
You see me? You see me?
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he will find his man on the outside. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked it to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Now this throw caught left side and brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 13 yards is the pickup for Tennessee and a first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and
9. Looking to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The sack by Dorian O'Daniel, the linebacker from Clemson. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the block.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus-yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Gurley again here on first down. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They go play action. Now Mahomes buying time to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively.
Let's go!
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, You've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. The Titans on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. He'll look to throw. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he's got the 1st down before being taken down at the 46. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 1st down, Titans, gain of 12. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the 1st half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Titans are able to extend their lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
A 10-play drive that time. And the result in the end, a Titans touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 35. They had him back deep, got the interception, and now they start inside the 10.
This partner forgets starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone. From the 10-yard line in, a lot of teams call it that because that's the money zone. Get it into the end zone and make your cash.
They'll try and run for it with Henry. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Here's a 2nd and 7. Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown.
Great job. Touchdown.
George Kittle with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Titans capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. They had the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. We'll check on his status when we get back. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Now here's Mahomes. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Throwing now is Mahomes. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Jeffrey Simmons picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches.
And the pressure gets to him again. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Mahomes to throw. He's going to let it fly. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Look at this, a tight end carry. A big seam, and he might go all the way. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Titans. George Kittle, 98 yards. And the Titans are able to extend their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown.
Let's go, son.
And now here comes Kansas City. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch.
Mahomes going to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And now here is another interception. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, he's got some breathing room. 30, 10, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with this one. I struggle. But on the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Yellow. Let's go.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now we'll get whistles, and they signal for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. One final try for Mahomes. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Titans, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for Kansas City, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time.